Hello and welcome back to KD's Business Tips. Michael Lapede here to talk to you about what is GST. A lot of people don't know what GST is, or they've heard GST, they know they pay GST, but they're like, what does that stand for? It's just some kind of tax. Well, it's goods and services tax is what GST stands for. So all the goods you buy and all the services you buy, most are taxable through the GST. And it's a flat rate. It's 5% in Canada. So depending where you are in Canada, you might also be paying PST, which is provincial sales tax. That's different than GST. Some might have HST, which is harmonized sales tax, where they combine the GST and the PST together in a couple of the provinces as well. But we're here to talk about GST, which is your goods and services tax. If you're a business, you probably know exactly what this is. You collect it. If you are an individual, you know you've paid it before, so you kind of have an idea. So most supplies and most services require GST. However, there are also a lot of details when it comes to certain industries. For example, the financial industry, the majority of the financial industry does not collect GST. You'll notice your service charges at the bank do not have GST, or your mortgage broker will not charge you GST. However, certain financial industries might have to charge GST depending on what it is, but the majority don't. Insurance is another one. You don't see GST on most of your insurance because insurance, they don't charge GST. That's considered, again, in the financial industry. Also, the majority of charities and the majority of nonprofits, a lot of them don't charge GST, depending what they're doing, of course. But if they're an institution, education, things like that, there's probably no GST on your tuition in those cases if they're not for profit. So there's certain industries that have different GST rules. Now, there's also specific rules around real property. So commercial property versus vacation property versus residential property, they all have different GST rules. I don't want to get into that right now, right here. It'd be a lot longer of a video. If you have questions, we'd love to hear from you. But know that if you're getting into any real estate transaction, you need to ask us or ask a professional, is there GST on this? Is there a GST issue with this? Do I need to register a GST number? Because sometimes you can register the GST number to not have to pay the GST in certain instances. So it's very important that you understand that when it comes to real estate transactions, there's some very, very intricate rules with GST, and you must know that in advance of doing your real estate transaction. For example, if you're buying a new home, there's going to be a GST. If you buy a used home, there's no GST. Now, that's a simple one, but at the end of the day, if you're buying a new home and you're going to rent it out, well, we might want to try to get that GST back. If you're going to live in it, well, that's another story. And there's different ways around that. So if you are a business and you're making at least $30,000 gross income during the year, you have to register for a GST number. It's not a bad thing, but you have to collect GST. If you're making less than $30,000 in your business, you might not have to. Now, there's lots of deals with GST, lots of things to understand. If you got questions, we'd love to hear from you. Don't be scared to post in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. Any questions or you want to sit down with us, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being a part of KD's Business Tips, and we'll see you back again soon.